Hello, Leo. Elsie here to do your reading. It is for the week ahead. How you doing, Leo? Thank you so much for clicking here, my fire family. I hope you're well. I'm here with an oracle deck. We're going to look at this first for the overall feels for next week. I'm always reading for the week ahead, Leo. If you didn't know that, welcome here if you're brand new, and if you are, I hope you'll stay. Leo, if you've been here before and you're the ride or die, I appreciate you coming back. Let's find out what's going on for you. At the end of this video, I'm going to tell you about how to find the extended. Also, if you're interested in a private read, I'll talk about that as well. So, Leo, we are in the new moon. Happy new moon to you, my friend. New moon in Virgo today. Let's find out what's going on for you, Leo. In the week ahead, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. Whenever you find this, today, tomorrow, next year, it could resonate with you. Tell me about Leo. We have to the sea. We have happy, happy. And we have round and round. Bottom of the deck, we have time to go. You are leaving an old cycle, which is really very interesting because time to go is card number 45, which is a 9, and 9 is Virgo. And this tells me that you are leaving an old cycle in favor of a new cycle, and new moons are the new cycle. So this is literally Virgo. We are in a new moon in Virgo. Very interesting. So I'm going to say it's time to go. It's time to leave the old cycle. It's time to move on to the new cycle, friend. And we've got to be fair. This is sort of the Libra card in this energy here. This is card number 11, and breaks down to a 2, which is balance, right? So I feel like your new cycle is about to be very balanced. Bottom of the deck for me is always future energy. It feels like there is a shift of energy that's coming in the middle of your week here, Leo, that is going to say, that's it, I gotta get off the merry-go-round. It feels like there is something going on, and the universe is going to notify you, by the way. So it's going to be a feeling. I was actually sitting on the sofa the other night, was maybe last night, I think it was, and I felt, how can I say, maybe a little bit more excited about life, or sort of excited about things that are coming up for me in the future, plans that I've made, things that I'm working on, creative projects. And I didn't really feel that before then. It's almost like everything shifted for a moment and made me realize that I really am in the right direction. I feel like this is the sort of energy that this is giving me for you coming up in the week ahead. It feels like you're just coasting at the beginning of the week. It feels like to the sea. That card number 7 tells me you're at the place you're supposed to be, you're doing the right thing. Card number 7 tells me the universe is looking in on you. 7s are about heaven for me. It's about divine intervention. We do have a face looking at you here, but it feels like you're coasting through the emotional parts of your life here, and then boom, in the middle of the week, something shifts for you here. It feels like you realize, you know what? It is time to move forward. I'm ready to make changes. And that's exactly how a fixed signs makes their change, right? It's like you move toward it probably the last 6 months. You've been thinking about making a change, and then all of a sudden, boom, it shifts and you're ready. So I feel like I'm feeling, and I know that energy because I'm a Taurus, and I am a fixed sign as well. Like if you've got Leo energy, that's a fixed sign. So that's sort of the way the fixed signs make their decisions. It's more of I'm going to think about it for a while, 6 months to a year, before I make the decision. You've decided, I'm getting off the merry-go-round. I'm not doing another cycle. I'm out. That's it. I've got to go. This is the new moon in Virgo, and I've got to go. Virgo is encouraging us to get grounded, to figure out what we want, what we don't want, cleaning out the basement, cleaning out the closets, cleaning out life in general, making room for different and more energies to arrive. So let's talk about this. Tell me more about Leo, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. I feel like your third eye is opening, or it has opened, and it feels as though you now see things for what they are. And it's time to talk about that. It feels like it is time for you to realize that we've got a 7 here, we've got a 7 here. Very interesting. We're just 1 7 away from your jackpot, but we've got 7s being about heaven. The universe is saying, giving you this shift. Card number 26 is an 8. It's a shift within the self. That the egg is here with the little lock there. It feels like you're balancing, and all of a sudden everything balances into your favor. As we say, balance, Libra comes up here, which is the Queen of Swords. It feels like you're being honest with yourself about something here. Tell me about To the Sea for Leo, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. We've got the Ten of Swords. There it is. You are releasing something, letting it go. I feel like these are things that make you emotional. We've got the Moon energy. And we've got the Four of Wands. Ace of Wands on the bottom of the deck. Aries energy. So listen, it feels like this... This Ten of Swords is telling me that you are, the Ten of Swords is about, betrayal and all of those things, a painful end of a cycle. It could be a mental anguish that you're going through. But it feels like for you, it's a release. Because understand that once we get to the end, we can release it. And so, yes, it can be painful. It feels like you've been through a really mentally painful cycle, Libra. Things you can't stop thinking about. Maybe you got hurt by someone emotionally. It feels like those were lessons you needed to learn in order to not repeat those patterns. And so when we get to the end of the Ten of Swords, understand that a lot of people just get out of the Ten of Swords and jump into the Ace and begin again, but I think you're noticing your pattern. So it feels like you're releasing some sort of deep emotional wound that you had that not only hurt the mind, not only painful, but emotionally painful. It feels like you finally released something. And that's why the shift of energy comes here. So the happy energy tells me this is not expected. You're not expecting it. You're not expecting this giant shift of energy. Look, we've got all the chakras present here, right? And so it feels almost like all the chakras open, like you've been trying to get into alignment. And it feels like you finally get into an alignment of what makes you happy, like truly happy. I think that the Moon energy tells me that things are not as they seem. It's almost like you've learned in your life, because you've been hurt so much emotionally, that you've learned in your life not to trust it. And so I feel like you've maybe stopped trusting your intuitive energy. But Pisces and Cancer energy here means something is deeply, maybe there's a fear of being happy. And that could definitely be if you're a person who's grown up in a lot of tragedy and trauma. Maybe there's a fear of allowing things to be lighthearted. And so it feels like you're not expecting the shift that comes in the middle of the week, but it does feel like you've decided to get off the merry-go-round. No more overthinking, no more going round and round. It feels like this third eye is opening here. Card number 7 is heaven energy for me. So it feels like the universe shifts you, and it feels like for the first time in a long time, you feel confident, you feel stable, you feel excited and celebratory. That was sort of the energy that I was telling you about that I felt the other night when I felt the shift, and I was like, oh yeah, wait, when is the new moon? And definitely it was the morning of the new moon. I was like, oh, okay, I am feeling that. So it feels like you are on a new passionate cycle here, friend. And let's find out about this Ten of Swords here. Tell you about the Ten of Swords and To the Sea. I think you're out. I think you're out on an adventure that you've decided. It almost feels like you have found your the way for you to travel over the emotions instead of getting stuck in them. Tell me more about Leo. We've got the Lovers, we've got the Five of Swords, and we've got the Ace of Wands. So I think for some of you, this is emotional pain from a relationship that failed is what it feels like, because the failed, I don't like to use that word, I really shouldn't, because to me there's no failure. To me it's lessons. So I think that you just completed a lesson that you were supposed to learn, and what it was teaching you is what you don't want. So I think that the Lovers and the Five of Swords tells me with the Ace of Wands that possibly you jumped into something in fire, and you realized as we moved along that the Five of Swords is here. We have so many fundamental differences. There's no way that we could be together forever. I feel like it ends up in a lot of emotional anguish or emotional pain. So it feels like you thought that you found your soulmate, and maybe you did, because not all of y'all, soulmates are just that. It's a word. And soulmates can be soulmate friends, but understand that soulmates know you, they know your soul, and you ask them when you were up there in the ethers, please show up at this time in my life. I'm going to need this lesson. But the only way I'm going to be able to get the lesson is if I trust you. And that's why the soulmate, the karmic soulmate, shows up to give you the lesson. So you're not supposed to be with everybody forever. Some of these people are here just to give you a lesson and carry on. And I think that's what this was. Somebody here was meant to shake you out of this place of jumping in by fire first. So the Ace of Wands being here tells me you jumped into some sort of passionate situation. Or if it wasn't a passionate situation, you made a choice to jump in without really checking out the pros and cons. I think that all you saw were the pros, and so you went for it. But the Five of Swords here is telling me that it became very apparent that somebody was either mentally abusive, or that they were somebody who at any cost would, sort of badger you into living life the way they wanted it. So somebody here was in their masculine energy and was trying to beat you into submission mentally, essentially, whether you're the man or the woman. Because look, men can meet women who do that to them as well. Women who are in their masculine energy will try and beat a man into submission. And sometimes they succeed until the man realizes what's going on. It's not always just men doing it to women. It's both ways. But I feel like this Lovers is telling me that you trusted this person, they were a soulmate, and that you made the choice to jump in. But I feel like it ended terribly. It ended up in just betrayal, emotional betrayal here. Tell me about the Moon. I feel like this is the big shift for you here, because we are having this new moon right now. We've got the Knight of Wands. This is the shift. Look at that. It totally is. It's a shift out of the place of being scared, or being scared of the dark, or being scared of what might come. It's you finally get back into your fire energy here. Tell me more. We've got the Ace of Pentacles, and you're ready to grow again. You're ready to head out through the gates. You see that there's an opening, and I think you're going to take it. It feels like you're ready to start on a new path, but I think that you learned your lesson over here, I'm going to say. This person did a really good job of teaching you what you didn't want. We teach people how to treat us, and then they treat us as such, and we realize we want it or we don't. So I feel like this Ace of Pentacles replaces the Ace of Wands. Now you're being more careful, more analytical. What do I really want? What really makes me happy? What do I want to grow in this life that's going to make me happy? We've got the Page of Pentacles. It does feel like you are now materializing the things that are good for you. We've got two Pentacles. You're making decisions. And I think that the Knight of Wands, you're never going to lose your fire, Leo. You're never going to lose your fire. You really shouldn't. But I feel like now you're doing it in a more analytical way. You're doing it slower, right? Pentacles are about slow moving, dependable. I'm going to look it over. I'm going to look at the analytics. I'm going to start something new, and maybe there will be a new offer out there for me. But I'm going to make sure that I'm happy with the decisions that I make, instead of just running off and jumping in right away because I saw something that looked good from a distance. So the Knight of Wands still is the energy of taking a risk, but it also, with the Ace of Pentacles and the Page of Pentacles, is I'm going to move a little slower and make sure that that's really what I want, instead of just ignoring the moon energy, ignoring my intuition, and jumping in anyway. Tell me about the Four of Wands and round and round. The end of the week tells me you finally have decided to get off the merry-go-round. Tell me about the Four of Wands. Oh gosh. Charlie's just showing me, if you know if you're a Gen Xer. Remember those crazy merry-go-rounds we used to be on, remember? Oh my God. Yes. Yeah. Our brothers and sisters would put us on, and they would just, bodies would be everywhere. Anyways. Tell me about the Four of Wands and the round and round, please. We've got the Ten of Wands. There we go. The Devil energy's in the reverse. I love it. Holy crap. Look at this Empress energy and the Fool. Look what we're doing here. You really have made a decision. It's time to go, for sure. So the Ten of Wands is here. You're like, this is where I lay my burdens. This is where I put them down. I'm no longer carrying around the expectations of others. I'm no longer carrying around that stuff back there, that pain. I'm not ever going to forget. That's why I always say, forgive, but don't forget, because you don't want to repeat the pattern, right? So the Ten of Wands tells me you're finally, just leaving it at your feet. What song is that? You say, is it? Daigle? Daigle? What is her name? Now I'm laying it at your feet. Lauren Daigle. Daigle? I don't know how to say her last name. You Say, I think the song is called. Anyways, look that up. There might be some lyrics there. It feels like you're laying your burdens at the feet. Like I'm laying my burdens at your feet. It could be talking about something religious. Maybe you're laying it down to the universe. You're laying it down to the Lord. You're just saying, here, take my burdens, right? And it feels like you release. It feels like with this devil in reverse, you release the hardships. You release the toxic cycle you were in. It feels like you were in a round and round and round in a toxic cycle. It feels like somebody here finally releases the toxicity, the addiction, the bad thoughts, the jumping in and fire. Like it feels like you decide, you know what, I'm just going to grow. I'm going to pay attention to myself and I'm just going to grow. The Empress energy is where you end up, maybe at the end of the week. It feels like solid, grounded. I'm doing it by myself. I don't need anyone else to be on my path with me. This is a time when I'm going to be on the path by myself, doing my own thing. Screw them. Let them do what they're going to do. Whether you're the masculine or the feminine, you are definitely in your Empress energy because you have released the expectations and the things that you were carrying around. You finally got off this merry-go-round in your head or in your life, and it's bringing you stability and excitement. And I think that's the shift of the energy of the new moon. It's bringing you this energy of shifting into this new cycle right here. It took you a long time to get there, but it feels like you don't mind being on the outside looking in. It feels like you put yourself in timeout, Leo, is what it feels like. It's okay. I don't mind being on the outside looking in because I'm the Empress and I'm already complete. I'm complete without anyone else being in my life. I'm good. So we've got time to go. And yeah, everything is, look, Libra, right? Libra's here. I got Libra. So, yep, going the distance. You're out of that cycle. After observing it for a really long time, you're finally out of that cycle and into a more balanced cycle. Let's put down a few more cards here. We've got, Temperance. You know what you've done? You've taken all of your pain, the Three of Swords, and you've alchemized it into power. Now you're pushing it into this Empress energy or being stable and wise and loving the self. So we'll talk more about that as we go into the extension. If you want to be in the extended with us, please look at the top of the pinned, at the top of the comments is a pinned comment right under the video. There'll be a few links there. If you would like to just purchase this extended outright, you can do that with a link. If you'd like to come into the membership area where all of the members are looking at all of the energies of all of the signs for the extendeds. And if you're interested in a private read, I'm doing pre-recorded private reads and I'm doing live private reads. So the live private reads is where all the sales are, between 5 and 75% off of that. If you'd like to do that with me, I've been having a really great time talking to y'all in person. It's kind of cool. We become people and not just commenters, which is nice. But I still am offering the pre-recorded readings, which I really love doing. So let's put down 3 more cards, go into the extended. Tell me about Leo. What else are we talking about? There we go. There's the future, my friend. And the future is planned. You are moving toward the future with intent. You know what you want. And what you want is to have this new cycle open, which is this new chapter is opening right now, right? So this Fool energy, we are in the eclipse seasons now, right? First eclipse, I think, comes up on the 7th of September. And we have another one coming up, I think, at the end of September. So there's going to be a lot of changes, and you're in the right place at the right time. You're transforming. You're looking at, look at the intense look on the face of the knight, looking at the Fool, like, yeah, this is what I'm headed for. You're making a lot of really impactful and plans with intent to move forward here into this new cycle. It's exciting. It's exciting now because you're in this stable, exciting energy. The shift is here for you. Bottom of the deck, and you're feeling inspired. I love that. All right, we're going to go into the extended. We're going to talk about this. We're going to talk about this. We're going to clarify a bunch of this stuff as well. And if you want to be there, then please check out the pinned comment. I'm going to go for now, but I'll be back because I'm always back. You guys take care. Love you, Leo. Bye-bye.